welcome to your Monday episode of Sunup on 7. I am Kevin Mendes.
And I'm Courtney Menzies.
Courtney, they want you to continue dancing.
I know, let's do it. It's Monday, let's do it. Monday energy.
They want you to continue dancing for sure. Courtney, let's tease them what can they expect on today's show.
If you're a wine lover, the Belize Rotary Club of Sunrise has a surprise for you. So stay tuned to hear about their next upcoming event.
We also have an interesting conversation with Sea of Life. They recently went through a garbage collection campaign, and today we're going to find out about the report coming out from what they collected. It's going to be an interesting conversation. We have no Monday morning beef today, but we do have baby beef joining us. So she's going to be chefing up. We're going to tell us later on how this beef is going to be. But definitely, folks, we thank you so much for joining us. Let us know if you're celebrating anything, where you're watching from. And of course, once more, we thank you so much for joining us. Courtney, let's go to the couch.
That's what we're looking for today. Just in time,
and he's here to talk to us
the
about
writing appears on the
show that we're
wall.
on right now. Tell me, this
When
one
I were the first ones to see,
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been
the
happening
world
on the
that
weekend.
we see
So
may
far.
seem that it'll never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up,
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sun Up on 7 family. Welcome to your Monday episode. Thank you so much for welcoming Courtney into your space. If you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV, happy Monday. We're very excited about this episode. Before we get into it, we're going to bring you the weather, and that's courtesy of the Belize Met Service.
Good morning, Belize. A dry and light airflow continues to dominate our weather. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with a few cloudy spells, and high temperatures are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 88 inland and 80 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 64 inland and 60 over the mountains. No rainfall is expected. The winds will be light and variable at first. Later, the winds will blow from the east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and the sea state will be slight. A high tide will occur at 9:56 a.m., a low at 3:18 p.m., and a high at 9:32 tonight, and a low at 4:31 in the morning. The sun will rise at 18 minutes past 6 this morning and set at 5:54 in the evening. The moon comes up at 5:46 this morning and will set at 5:23 in the evening. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for fair and mostly dry conditions to prevail. In the sargassum forecast, a few sargassum mats approaching the coast of Belize are expected to arrive during the next few days, producing moderate impacts. And in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and brush fire will be low. And that concludes your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
That's your weather update, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a cool 20 degrees here in Belize. Definitely, it's quite a blessing. But Courtney is also with me today. We're going to focus on her shortly. She's right here. TV magic, Courtney.
Yes.
How is your
here.
Monday energy today, 1 to 10?
It's going good, you know, with that song kind of wake you up and
Okay,
thing, yeah.
all right.
But I'm going good.
Yeah, I saw you doing your little thingy there, you know.
But yeah, you know, I have like 2 more days of work and then I'm going on vacation. So I'm excited.
Big announcements to make. Where are you going on vacation?
I'm going to Brazil.
You're going to Brazil.
Yeah.
I love
My
it.
first time in Brazil. I'm very excited.
How is your Portuguese?
0. Like my Spanish is at like a 10% and my Portuguese is like a negative 10%. I don't even know how to say hello, but I'll learn.
Bom dia.
It's a long flight.
Bon
so I have
dia.
time.
Are you bon dia, obrigado? That's
Okay.
you can't go wrong with those two things. Bon dia, obrigado.
Yeah, I know more Japanese than I know Portuguese.
How you say good morning in Japanese?
Oh, I know. Shucks, I forget.
I love it.
I know you say gozaimasu for everything, basically. Like just to show respect. Like I used to just walk in and just say gozaimasu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So have a fun time in Brazil. Definitely it's going to be a great time. You're going to where? Sao Paulo?
I'm going to Sao Paulo and then Rio. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a great time of the year. It's also like carnival time.
Yeah. So
in Rio
hopefully
at
I
the
get like
moment.
somebody
So,
after, of Carnival.
yeah.
And,
I mean, carnival,
parties.
like it's like this weekend, but
Yeah.
definitely it's all the time it's carnival in Rio. You know, like it's just a great energy to be there in Brazil. So how was your Valentine's weekend, if I may ask?
I was good. It was actually just spent preparing for the trip, you know, packing and doing all the
Okay,
last minute
okay.
things that I have to do. Like, you know, as women, like we have like extra steps that we need to take. I need to like wash my hair and do my nails and stuff like that. So it was literally just prepping. So that's why I think I'm excited. Like the excitement has gone from the weekend and it's carried on now.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a great way to like, you know, put in the energy for you to have a great trip, I have
Right.
to say. Yeah, so it's going to be a really, really good one. We do have some people that are disappointed that we don't have a Monday morning beef. I understand, you know, you can get used to like having beef every day, but sometimes it's good to have a little change just for you that whenever it comes again, you get a better appreciation for it too.
Right.
But it's good to have you on the couch today, Courtney. How are you going to be serving this beef today?
I think I'm going to serve this beef. It's not going to be charred and jerky like how it usually is. Maybe it's a little, you know, well done beef. So it's still kind of chewy.
Okay.
It's still not the way I prefer it. I don't know how you eat your beef or your steaks. I like mine's like, you know, medium rare.
I like mine's medium rare too.
Okay, so but
Yeah.
this is going to be a little bit more done than that.
Okay, so it's gonna be a chewy one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it's
gonna
gonna
be a
be.
chewy one.
All right, so let's get started, Courtney. So the first topic is that the PUP National Party Council meeting took place this weekend, and there's so many things that was, I would say, extraordinary about this
Yeah.
meeting. So let's get started with it. The first thing is that the National Party Council meeting was held in Belmopan this weekend, and this time, which is unusual, is that it was open to all supporters,
Right.
and not just the members of the party council. And they even included transportation support for persons that wanted to join. What do you think prompted them to say, like, it's not just for party council members this time, it's for everybody that wants to come? Kind of like a rally they had, no?
Yeah, they turned it into a rally. You know, we were talking about how it's possible that the PUP is looking at their popularity, which is a question that we've been putting to them recently. I know Marcel has asked it to a couple different ministers whether, and it goes back to the SpeedNet acquisition, whether it's political suicide. You not outrightly supporting it, but also not outrightly, you know, condemning it is. It's killing your political, you know, aura, I guess. You're losing points.
Yeah.
You're losing points because the public is very much against this, and you are still saying, well, we'll see, let the process go, or the Northern Caucus endorsing it or whatnot. So I'm thinking that they're losing the popularity vote, and they're just saying, make we just do this big rally, garner our supporters. I think anybody could have gone. What I say everyone is invited. That means me and you could have reached there if we want to. And I think, but they said that they had a crowd of 15,000. So it's probably, whenever politicians say we had this amount, you have to minus a certain amount.
Okay.
So we're guesstimating around 1,000.
1,000 persons out there. That's still a large crowd, though, of persons.
It's a large crowd, yeah, but you're a mass political party.
I agree.
You're providing transportation. You are the government in charge. You're providing transportation, and you're saying, pull up. You know that you will get, maybe you get money, maybe you get food, whatever. All of these perks, and you still like garner 1,000 people.
So like talking about like who pulled up to this event,
Yeah.
right? So we can see.
I think they showed a picture of our former Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo Mai. He was right there. His back is looking good.
His back is looking good.
I hope
that's what we
that
have
his
to say.
surgery was successful.
Yeah.
It looks like he's doing good. Maybe he'll eventually return to cabinet. We don't know.
Definitely, maybe this is sign. Maybe 2026 is the year of the return for him. What we can also like make note is that Julius Espat did not attend. Karim Musa did not attend either because he is reported to be in a Belize immigration mobile passport
Right.
in Houston.
Right.
And also Mr. Ramon Moncho Cervantes did not attend
Right.
this National Party Council meeting.
Yeah, so the Julius Espat one is, I think, most telling because he Rafaka South and, Bama right there. So it's not difficult for him. Maybe he has a good reason, but his absence there, it speaks volumes, especially coming after the interview that he gave, which I think is one of my favorite interviews he's ever given. Because, he doesn't really, he minces words a little bit, but he still, I feel like he can't completely go against his own self and his own belief. So he came right out and he said, I'm disappointed in the Northern Caucus. We as cabinet said we would keep our position. We keep our position private or until the process has worked its way.
Yeah.
So him not showing up is a big deal to me. With Mr. Musa, yeah, I've heard about this immigration hub. Like, I heard him talking about it before. But did you really need to attend? I mean, this is not, I don't believe this is the first immigration hub that the ministry has had. It's the first one under his
I believe
leadership.
so. Yeah, so maybe he wanted to like get like a full-on experience to see how it goes, maybe
But that's
get
why
an
you
experience
have
of it.
people. You have people who do the work for you or do this work. Because what can you do? All you could do is talk to people. You can't. It's not like you could do the technical work. So
That is true.
You have your technicians who go. You could even send maybe a CEO. I don't know. But I guess like you said, he wanted to see firsthand what it looked like.
Could be, yeah. So now let's talk about what came out of this National Party Council meeting, Courtney. So one of the resolutions that came from this National Party Council meeting is that they endorsed the pause in the BTL SpeedNet acquisition. And they also are in full support of the Public Utilities Commission to fulfill its regulatory mandate with widespread public consultations in regards to the acquisition of SpeedNet, which is, puts the PUP and the current administration in a little bit of like a schizophrenia, like a schizophrenic mode, right? Because there's people like supporting the endorsement, people not supporting the endorsement, people going for a pause. It's just like,
Yeah. It's definitely like the party has split personality and it's giving us whiplash. It's giving us whiplash because on the one hand you have the cabinet saying we're going to keep our position private. You have the Northern Caucus saying we support it wholeheartedly. You have then you had the Minister Shabat in the House saying the Prime Minister said we have put a pause on this. And then they talked to the Prime Minister outside the House and he said, well, now I have to talk to the Minister of Public Utilities because I don't know. And now we have the NPC, which the Prime Minister also leads. So it's kind of like he's the Holy Trinity. That's the joke we were making. He's the Holy Trinity. He's in all of these roles, all of these. As member of the Northern Caucus, he supports it. As the cabinet, we don't know because it's private. As NPC member, we want a pause. Like, you can't be the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that's literally what he's doing. And so, they're saying that they also support competition. They're endorsing competition. But it's confusing. The party it's clearly split. It's clearly there are different people who have different personality. Different opinions because the Northern Caucus gave a glowing endorsement. We want this. But the NPC say, no, we want competition.
Yeah.
As you as a supporter, which way do you go? Which way do you lean? What opinion do you endorse?
Yeah, I guess they will go by what their representative is telling them to do, right?
But if you're from the north now, your caucus said one thing and the National Party is saying the other thing. So
which is it's a pity for people that are part of this political party because they are in a confusion themselves,
Yeah.
right? Especially when they're following their leader and whatever their leader is saying, trusting that it's best for them, and
Yeah.
now their own party is like in this multiple
Yeah.
views in a particular situation. Is like, where does that put them? But let's also talk about what this resolution includes, Courtney, which is it acknowledged that the position of the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which commit this party to ensuring that their concerns regarding independent valuation, legislative reform, and transparency are substantively addressed, right? So they're also like backing what the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry is saying as regards to the speed acquisition.
Which again, whiplash, because I asked Prime Minister last week, I said the BCCI says they want an independent valuation. He said, oh, but that's what happened. That the company is independent. I don't know what they want. We don't do an independent valuation. Clearly you didn't.
Yeah, clearly you didn't because your National Party Council
is saying we support the independent valuation. The BCCI is saying we support the independent valuation. But you will say, oh, but we don't do that. No, you clearly, we don't know what to believe. I feel like I'm being gaslit. I feel like I'm in a manipulative relationship, a toxic relationship, right after Valentine's Day. Like, come on, man. I'm being gaslit. But
Yeah.
so it's like, genuinely, where do you go? Who do you believe?
Yeah.
They're talking about transparency as well. We know we have major transparency issues with, first of all, from the very beginning of the secrecy surrounding the deal, and then the numbers not coming out through legitimate sources. What's Smart's, what's Smart's real gross revenue? And again, I asked the Prime Minister again, were they underreporting? Why is the calculations leading up to 13 million, but then the numbers we're hearing are 40 million? He not no answer. I think it's funny. It's like, all I know is I don't know. That's literally what he said. Like, all I know is I don't know. And then he just tried to play it off and whatnot. And
Yeah, I mean, if the party council is calling for an independent valuation, clearly where he says he does not know, maybe that's true, because where is the number coming from? But I can see where your vacation is well deserved, Courtney. But one thing that also came out from this National Party Council convention that took place this weekend is that they reaffirmed that competition, innovation, and consumer protection are the cornerstones of a healthy telecommunications sector, and that any consolidation must demonstrably serve the Belizean people, not merely the commercial interests of shareholders. That's some powerful words to come out with from this NPC meeting this weekend.
right. And but again, are they listening to the people? The people are a lot of people. All these sectors have said, we don't want this deal, or at the very least, at least show it that you are acting in our best interest. Show us that you actually care and you love us. Again, toxic relationship. Show, not just like ignore me when I ask for I'm asking for your attention. I'm asking for more communication from you.
Clarity.
And you just say, ignore me. You're getting your car and left. Like, no, listen, communicate with me. Have consultations. Show me the numbers. Sit me down and make we reason this out or something. But they're not even pretending to care about us. So I think we have to break up with them.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see how the resolutions that came out from this weekend is going to be taken into account and move forward. For one, they're calling for more public consultation. They're also supporting the pause of the BTL Spinet acquisition, independent valuation, more transparency. Also looking at competition being a key cornerstone of the telecommunications industry. It's many takes here, which is different from what we've been hearing all this time, where they're still pushing forward with the acquisition of SpeedNet. So now the thing is going to be how is all of this energy, all of this commitments and reaffirmations and resolutions are going to take place moving forward.
Right.
That's what we have to wait and see.
Yeah, so we'll see how this pause, what actually does come out of this pause, and if it's not just a tactic, because that's our speculation too, that it's just a tactic to kind of lower the noise, and so that when they rev it up again, maybe the people are distracted by something else at this point.
Yeah, that's highly possible too.
So we'll see.
Let's move on to our next couch topic, Courtney. Now let's talk about banking on silence. Inside the roadblocks to financial crime investigation. This is one of your babies.
Yeah, this is my baby. I feel like the baby was a little premature, but this is a story
It's
that...
still breathing though.
Yeah, this is a story I did in conjunction with the Global Financial Unit, and the BNN. So, they provided a grant for journalists. I applied. It's to investigate financial corruption, financial crimes. And so I pitched them a story, and then they say if they want to go through with the story. So the story that I pitched was, my story begins with an outburst from the former leader of the opposition, Shine Barrow, in the House, where he was like, this is when there were a resolution, for the strengthened ties between Belize and Taiwan. And he didn't support it. And everybody was just like, how are you not supporting Taiwan? They've done so much for us, and they have done so much for us. But he's like, no, make I start talk about you're so-and-so and this and that. And I don't even think I could say these things here because then I don't want to be sued. He made really explosive allegations. So my job was to now look into those allegations. And it's a tangled web of a potential suspicious transaction report from a credit union, which is linked to somebody who is also in the PM's inner circle, and this person also has a bank account she's a signatory to an NGO at this bank account that's been receiving money from a friendly government, and the money is being transferred out by certain other persons within this inner circle. It's a tangled web, and it allegedly led to an investigation by the FIU. This is what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what the results of that investigation was, because before the investigation, to our knowledge, could conclude if indeed it did occur. This is our, unconfirmed reports, or the reports that we were trying to confirm.
Right.
That when the investigation, before it could conclude, that signaled the end of Mr. Clear's tenure there. His contract was not renewed, and he had filed an affidavit because he was given a verbal promise, essentially, that, yeah, we will keep you on. And then they just did not renew his contract. And then he filed an affidavit, and then he received a settlement. So then that never did go in a court or anything because he settled. So, it's a tangled web. And the problem now is you need the documentation, you need the evidence. Which
and
is
how
what
forthcoming was that? We know, the challenge in, this.
Exactly. So I put out two
information.
FOIAs, Freedom of Information requests. One to the Ministry of Finance and one to FIU, and they both rejected me.
Wow.
The thing is, with the Ministry of Finance one, before I got my answer, I'd spoken to the FinSec, who was CC'd, and I said, well, what's the update on our FOIA? And he said, oh yeah, we'll probably ask for an extension because you're given 2 weeks to respond. We'll probably ask for an extension, and we'll get you those documents, though I already started the so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Lies. Because literally days after that, they're just like, we're not giving you any of this. They rejected our FOIA. And they stated, particularly when it comes to Mr. Clear's contract, or his settlement, which I asked for, they said that, it's under the Financial Intelligence Unit Act. It's a privileged contract, and so they can't give it to us. Once the story went under legal review, an attorney noted to me that those contracts aren't privileged. That's not true. So I tried to get another, again, you're working on a deadline, you're working on timing, so you can't fully flesh it out as much as you want, or you can't spend as much time doing it because it's a grant. So I went to two attorneys. One of them was Darrell Bradley, who confirmed that it's not privileged and there's no such thing as privilege in those circumstances.
Okay.
But there's no ombudsman, so you can't appeal it.
Okay.
And now precedent has been set that Mr. Enriquez appealed to this ombudsman, and then all of a sudden, ombudsman gone. So now, will the next ombudsman be working it's an independent office, but will he be operating independently? Right. It's another question. If we did have an ombudsman, if I appeal this thing to the ombudsman, would he even give me the time of day? Because now, next thing you know, he's afraid that his contract is not renewed in the same way. And so these are, it's a tangled web. So the story aired Friday. I published it, yeah. And I'm hoping to still keep on it, keep investigating it. Through other ways, means maybe getting these documents and whatnot.
So for the folks that missed Friday's airing of your investigation, what are some of the takeaways that they can expect from it when they take a look?
Well, it's instead of because I didn't get the documentation, it was difficult to investigate the story I wanted. So this is more of a story of what it's called the roadblocks to financial crime investigation. So it's looking at all the obstacles. It's a kind of a behind the scenes type of story where it looks at all the obstacles that we as journalists go through when we're investigating these types of crimes, the things that we have to do that you maybe don't see. Is you talk to a million people, and you have to talk to them over and over because you're scared at first. You have to talk to them over and over and over. You send out these FOIAs, you follow up on these FOIAs, you get rejected, you have to like go back to the drawing board and figure it out. So the takeaway really is that whenever you see an investigative report come out in its full entirety, these are all the things that happen behind the scenes to investigate these types of crimes, and that these things could be happening and we won't even know because we can't, we as journalists, we have limited resources to get these things. A lot of things that we may know or we may believe or we may hear, we can't fully investigate it as much as we want to. And so these things are happening, but it's to keep an eye out that these things are actually happening.
Yeah, so I can see where you're saying, okay, like these allegations, possibly they're true, and that's where you're like investigating them. And definitely, like from hearing what you shared just now, is that you are following like the right process to be able to like acquire this information for you to be able to provide your report. And even though you're following the proper channels, there's still roadblocks as it regards to like how they, use their power, like, their privilege to be able to create those blocks for you to be able to like give the people, the right information about what's taking place. So like, it's...
Right. It's a system it's a closed system that makes it difficult for you to get what you want, because then, you have this Freedom of Information Act that allows you to do so and so, but you're still at the whims of people in authority, so...
Yeah, and it's also like the interpretation as to what they have, right? So if you are somebody, like, so it's like, it was a very valuable contribution from the attorney that said, there's no privilege in these contracts, right? But if you were like somebody be like, okay, fine, you're saying it's a privilege, so I'm just gonna sit back and be like, if you say so, right?
Yeah.
But it's really like how they interpret the law or whatever regulation, and how they share that information to you, and somebody where is not really aware of like the process, then you like just take it.
Yeah,
right?
and then
So,
where do you go after that?
Where do you go after that?
After they reject you, this office is empty, and even if it was full, we don't know what they will, if they would give you the time of day. So
yeah. So what's your plan? Are you gonna like continue investigating and be able to provide?
I think it's out there now. People have commented on it, so we just keep pushing and and then obviously this can take more time because it's outside the, again, like I said, when you're giving a grant, you have a deadline. So this is outside the deadline of the grant, so it can take a time, like months. Like I can try to find other means and other ways without that pressure.
Yeah. So let's pray continues to flow, Courtney, and then we're gonna see, like the actual, like the banking on silence investigation that you're currently conducting. Let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic. And the Rasta Cop is placed on suspension. Is it because of the refusal to cut his locks?
I think it's incredible that in 2026 we're still having these issues that date back to, colonization, because your hair, I mean, we have to be very for real. First of all, we know that hair is a big part of person's identity, also person's religion. It's not just hair that grows out of your head. People have, part of their identity is attached to their hair, and it's a very big deal. I know that if somebody would come and tell me that I have to cut off my hair, I would be devastated, and I obviously would not do it.
Yeah.
We see this all the time in school as well, like when schools open up and kids get sent home for their hair. Ridiculous in the big year of 2026, and with this Rasta Cop, he's saying...
his name is Mr. Kenrick Ball.
Yes, Kenrick Ball. But I mean, come on, look at his hair.
Yeah, so let's talk about, so I definitely connect with you in the aspect of, hair is people's identity. Let's talk about the letter that he got. So in his letter that he got, he was be informed that the Commissioner of Police has approved your suspension from active duty with effect from the 13th of February 2026 in accordance with the Section 8 of the Police Act. And then it says the section provides the commissioner may at any time suspend from employment any sergeant, corporal, or constable belonging to the department who he may think remiss or negligent in discharge of his duty or otherwise unfit for the same. So he's pretty much asking for a clarification of what this means, right? We do know that since he started, a couple months ago talking, being part of the police department, standing for his identity, being able to keep his locks. It's been a little controversial for him throughout this process, and he's trying to understand, why is he being suspended? Is he being victimized for his hair, for standing for it? He's also taking the time to like of the court ruling that took place in 2021, where there was female police officers that went to court and they like won
They
this
won their case, yeah.
the case as regards to them being able to keep their natural hair, right? And so he's like, even though this was like women specific, he's still trying to like use
precedent
that,
has been set,
yeah,
yeah.
for him to be able to keep his hair the way it is within the police department.
I think it's very punitive because we want to, the rule is there to ensure that you're carrying out your duties, and obviously police have to be held to a certain standard in terms of your appearance. It's, you know, again, this whole uniform thing, you know, we all know like where it's based in, but fine, this is the world we live in. Your uniform, just like when you go to school, you have to tuck it in, you have to wear certain color shoes, whatever. In the police department, possibly like fire departments, you know, courtrooms, there's a certain attire, a certain presentation you have to, but it's punitive because if you look at, nobody will look at this man and say, why he look raggedy. He is well groomed, well dressed, his hair not all about the place.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very, it's kind of silly, and it's kind of like, there has to be some level of discretion, even when you implement these policies and these laws. There has to be some kind of discretion that, okay, he's carrying out his duties. He said that this is the first charge brought against him in 10 years, and he still has 0 convictions.
Yeah. So
And
like, so that's one take of this story. The other take is you're conscious that you're gonna go and sign up for the police department, and you know that they have certain regulations as in regards to your grooming.
Right.
So if you're saying, I'm gonna sign up, like people are saying you go to the military and they're gonna shave your head, right? So it's like, if you're saying like, I want to sign up for this, then you kind of have to like have a commitment to the system that you're putting yourself through. Yeah? So
Okay, but counterpoint, counterpoint. Remember when Rosa Parks got on that bus and they told her to go sit in the back? And she's like, no, I'm going to stay right here. She got on that bus knowing that they would tell her to go sit in the back, and she still sat on the front. And I'm not saying Rosa Parks is like, obviously this was she didn't do it on her own. She had a backing of supportive and whatever, and this was a operation that they were doing. But again, you have to be the one who makes the change so that others behind you, instead of conforming to this small little tight box that they're putting you in, you be the one that makes a change if you think that you're in the right, which I think that he is. And you make the change so that others behind you don't have to deal with this same thing. Somebody has to step up. And I mean, it's his religion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens to everybody? Does this mean that if you practice this religion, you can't be a police officer? I don't think the police department is in any position to be shooing people away. They're always complaining about lack of resources. Here's a man willing to serve and you're suspending him. You don't ever want to serve in the police association board. He wants to work. Let him work.
Wants to work, definitely. And it's also like, I think like as we go about reviewing all these regulations, is to like see like how relevant these regulations are
in
like,
the big year
in
of
present
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the story continues to like unfold as regards to Mr. Bull and his dismissal from the police department. He wants clarification as regards to this, and definitely we're going to be following the story on our newscast. Let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic, Courtney. And so recently what was implemented within the public service is the anti-sexual harassment policy. This was championed by the Women's Commission. So they're very like proud of this achievement, which, as we know, last year, there was the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act that was passed within our legislation, and definitely what had to take part was the development of these policies, which defines what sexual harassment is, you know, like what anti-sexual harassment is, you know, what is the policy, what is the process for like any grievance, how is that going to be redressed, how a person is going to be supported. At the end of the day, they want people to be able to understand, you know, what sexual harassment is, and to create a safer environment for persons that are working within the public service. What is very key about what the representative, the director from the Women's Commission had to share is that they believe that there's a large part of work that needs to take place in the education of this anti-sexual harassment policy. Because it's saying one thing is to have like this legislation, to have these policies in place within the workplace, but people are unaware about it, right? And how they're gonna go about exercising, you know, this right and being able to access this policy to be able to protect themselves. So we're gonna, that's a great win for the public service, you know, and for the many people that I know that in one way or another have been harassed within the system. How this will change the system now, that's a very interesting question.
Yeah. So like you said, the education is a big part of it, and I think they're like embarking on educating, and it's not just the public service. This law is not just for the public service.
That's
This law
a
is
great
for
clarification, yeah.
everybody, private sector, schools, everybody. That the law. It just happens that the public service has a policy that aligns with the law, but you can use this law if you are in a position where you find yourself facing harassment in any environment, and even if you. One thing that she pointed out too, that if you are like a plumber or you're somebody who has to go to the ministry, a customer who has to go to any of these ministries for any reason, and you get sexually harassed, you can also utilize the policy. It's for anybody who goes into the system for any reason, not necessarily just people who work there. And it's harassment is something that unfortunately happens like literally everywhere. Kids in school are facing it. We often see teachers being arrested and charged for harassing students, assaulting students, whatnot. I think in every situation, it's very unfortunate, and it's kind of normalized, I think. In every situation you as a woman go into, you have to be prepared to face some type of harassment. It's as a woman, you go through your entire life.
That's unfortunate.
And then you get to a point where, again, it's normalized. So a lot of times you're just like, I don't want to bother with that. Or you're afraid because it's your superior.
Yeah.
Or you're afraid to like upset the waves of your business place. Maybe you're afraid to get somebody fired. You're afraid that the person comes back and gets revenge on you. It's so many reasons. And then sometimes you're just afraid, which is valid too. It's so many reasons why people don't come forward. But we're hoping that this policy, again, they utilize it and then they provide a safe space for them. Because it's not, the problem is, not a problem, but one of the things that you can't do it anonymously. Like, you make this report and then they go investigate it, but they have to inform the person that they're investigating that this person made this report against you. So that's a kind of a drawback. Like,
Definitely.
people will be like,
Yeah. And then there's a fear of victimization, right? So like that's very, very valid into what may come out of it. I'm very interested into like digesting more into the anti-sexual harassment policy as regards to the safety of the persons that are making the reports, right? How does that look? Because maybe they may need to be removed from the public service for like safety while the investigation continues, but also still being able to get some benefits while, the investigation continues. I feel like those are like very important details that we need to see within this. But definitely we celebrate the fact that there's now an anti-sexual harassment policy for private and public sector businesses and basically for everyone. So definitely with the aim of creating a safer environment for all employees. Let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic, Courtney. We do have like some topics to go through, right? So this next one is, if you never noticed, or if you noticed that in December of 2025, the fuel cost dipped below $11, you are not dreaming. That actually did happen. And it went down to $10.86. And that's because in December of 2025, the price per barrel of fuel was $60 and it has not been that price since 2021. So Belizeans were able to see that, but only like for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But definitely with something that you would have noticed at the start of the new year.
People probably think they charged them wrong, like, oh, make I get out there before, which is valid, like you said, the world fuel prices were at kind of like an all-time low for the first time in many years. But having worked, as a journalist for like almost 8 years, I remember vividly when every time the fuel change used to get a press release. And I also remember the PUP stopping this practice, and that all of a sudden we weren't being informed, and you just go to the pump and you don't know what catch you at the pump.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not the kind of person where if I was driving, I would not notice, because I just don't notice these things. I have to get a gas anyway, so I just have to pay.
And you're rich, like, just charge me. Yeah.
I have to get a gas anyway, and it's like, why bother? But I think a lot of people have that mentality, like, I have to put in the gas, no matter what it costs, I just have to put it in. But we want to point out as well that at that same time when our gas, and we celebrate that it is below $11, in Melcher it was $8 a gallon, which is, something that I think Belize hasn't seen in many, many, many moons. The price of acquisition of gas at that time was like $4 and change. More than half of what we pay here in Belize is taxes.
44%, I think it is, yeah?
Yeah, about half, yeah. That we pay in taxes. So that's something to think about. That's incredible that they're acquiring the fuel at maybe $5 and we're paying $10, $11 to get it. You know, I don't know how they calculate it. I wish they would, again, there's a little bit of more transparency in saying, okay, because like they used to list it out too. I remember they used to list it out like, this is how much we buy it, this is how much we sell it, this is the taxes. Like they used to list these things out. So it would be nice if they would go back to this practice so we could see why our gas is so expensive when, and it's a valid, you know, thing to say, right across the border, then they pay much cheaper than we. So like, I think it's a valid criticism.
Yeah. Let's see, maybe Public Utilities Commission takes the note and does something about it. You
We'll
know?
see what.
That's kind of like within their space,
It's not
their
looking
work
good.
scope. We have one last topic to go through with you, and this is the accused by former employer of theft. DJ Cuss says he is not wanted by the police.
This is a very popular
It's a very
thing.
popular story, yeah, maybe because he's a DJ or just because of how the story goes. Basically, on the interview, he said and he acknowledges that he did sign a document with his former employer where he does, you know, acknowledge that he did collect the money on behalf of the employer. However, he did not hand over the money that was collected to Vega's distribution. So, and this amount was up to like $32,000. In this agreement, they come to an agreement of saying that he agrees to pay them back the money. In the interview, he says that he feels that he's getting victimized or that there is a report for him being wanted by the police because he said that he made an agreement to have like a payment plan for this $32,000, but they kind of like want like half of the amount
Right.
that he took like upfront and not just going by this, I don't know, payment plan deal that he had. So
Right.
like that's because they went to the police department to look for him.
But he's saying that he's not wanted, first of all. He made that clarification. He's not wanted.
He called the police department for that, no?
Yeah, he called the police department to make sure that he's not wanted. He's not wanted. He hasn't been arrested. They're not looking for him. He's, you know, here in Belize somewhere, going about his daily life. But at the end of the day, he signed this agreement. So he acknowledges that something went awry. Something went awry. But he's not saying, but he's, you know, you're dancing on the line between did you commit a crime or not? He signed this agreement that said, yes, I collected this money and yes, I will pay you back. So is that an acknowledgement that yes, I committed a crime? And then,
Yeah,
but then
right,
you
it's
go
like-
on the media and you have all of these excuses and whatnot. So, you know, but then again, if he's not wanted, you know, it's complicated. But he did say though that, because like we had, in our initial reporting, I think that we had seen a comment from his Facebook page that said that he not
was
thief
abroad.
nothing and that he's abroad and that he will sue Mr. Ian Vega. He's saying that his social media page was hacked, it was stolen. It's not him on Facebook. He only has an Instagram that he barely uses, but it's not him on Facebook. So somebody else is utilizing, but it's one thing to the next. Somebody else is utilizing his Facebook. His life seems very chaotic.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if I was investigating this case, I just go by what the sign agreement is, which is
Right.
like saying, I acknowledge that I collected money on your behalf, but I
Yeah.
never give it to you over. The amount that comes up to $32,000. There was an agreement for us to like settle this,
Yeah.
this whatever situation happened
Right.
and move on from there. But
I think it's also just for public awareness too, because I think this person does smaller transactions for everyday people based on different things. And I've seen allegations made on social media about, I never get this, I never get that, and I paid so and so. So I think it's for public awareness that if you are engaging in business with somebody, just do your due diligence. Look them up on Facebook to see if anybody else has talked about them, or ask people who may know that if this person can be trusted or not. Just be careful with your money where you work for.
definitely.
And we'll see what comes out of if DJ Cass ends up paying back Vegas and what comes out of that.
Yeah. So with that, we come to the end of our Couch Talk. We want to say thank you so much for your contribution for the people watching via Facebook Live. Courtney, thank you so much for your contribution also. As we wrap up, we have our sunrise to go through. So let's cue that in. Is this the beach? It is the
It's-
beach.
It's Curacao Bay.
It's Corazal Bay. Oh, that's the road, and that's the seawall.
Oh yeah, I see the seawall for sure. It's cool
Yeah.
how it's like half a sun. Like half
It's
a-
beautiful. So we want to say thank you so much for our sunrise, and this is
This is sent by somebody who may be related to me.
Yeah?
Henry Menzies. I don't know. Same last name.
there you go. Maybe we're going to say thank you so much, and for the folks tuning in from Corozal, thank you so much for joining us. We love you, and we thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go into our first commercial break. When we're back, we're going to be having a conversation on Sunrise Uncorked. It's a delicious wine tasting event. Stay tuned.
Amid public discussion about the proposed consolidation of BTL and SpeedNet, some people are calling for financials of both companies and information on license fee payments.
We did ask the PUC for the official figures for SpeedNet's annual license fee payment.
But even Anwar Barrow says it does not quite work like that.
The Public Utilities Commission has a role to play, and they will have access to both companies' financials, and they will use those financials to help evaluate the deal and the consequences of the deal. But they are not going to release that to the public. It just doesn't work like that. The call for we want to see financials, I'm not sure how you place that.
There is provision in the law. The actual legislation says that there's a duty for them to provide that. And so this to the
Not
public.
to the public.
Yes,
No.
yes.
We checked, and the fact is there is no law that mandates public disclosure of such financials. Let's educate and consult, but stop misleading the public.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherie Culsel,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening with your news and the bureaucrat.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Buenos dias, beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome to your Monday episode. Thank you so much for welcoming Cordian into your space. If you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV, happy Monday. We're also so excited about this next conversation because we have a new app to introduce for you. If you're looking into making e-commerce accessible and for anybody, any business that's having challenges accessing this online platform, we have an app that may pique your interest. And joining us on our couch to give us those details, we have Shamar Patnet. You're the app creator and owner of M3M3. The development business. But Shamar, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you on our couch. How is your energy this Monday?
It's ecstatic.
It's ecstatic, yeah?
A little bit nervous.
Okay.
But
that's totally fine.
happy to be here. It feels surreal to finally be here.
And how so?
I've been working on this for a while now in secret.
Okay.
And I've been getting feedback from friends, family. And so far the feedback has been nice.
Okay.
Because I have some family and friends with small businesses. So it feels surreal to bring this to the public so that I can see what the impact it will bring.
Wow.
People.
Well, we definitely have to celebrate you for working on this for 2 years and finally coming to the platform and saying, hey, people, there's something for you that I want to make life easier for businesses, right? So congratulations on the hard work you're putting in and for being here and making the big announcement today.
Yeah.
Right? So Courtney, let's find out more details about this app.
Right. So the app is called M3 Marketplace. So tell us who will want to use this app and why.
So the target is for both customers and businesses. On the customers end, the platform will be one area where a customer can go, purchase goods, services, and check out fully within the app. No strings tied, right? For businesses, it's actually more powerful for businesses because not only do they get to host their businesses online, but they get the benefit of being able to make use of the technology that we currently have. So currently, banks have APIs or integrations to make customers do online payments through credit or debit card. The gate of entry to do that for a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, is a little bit too much. In order to do that, you need to have the technical know-how to understand the API, develop a server, develop the website, properly handle all of the use cases for different users and traffic. What my company is looking to do is to provide that to businesses.
Oh, okay.
So the app hosts businesses on a marketplace. There is a back end, which I call the admin, just simple admin, where each business is able to look at their storefront, look at the data, gather all of the data, and manage their business online. I've made it in a way where it's accessible for most people. One of the most challenging things was getting it to be able to work with multiple businesses, right? Because most of these APIs are designed to be one website, one work. Thankfully, I had to do my research because, to be honest, in the beginning, I didn't even know if this was possible.
Okay.
So the app developed from a simple project that I just wanted to finish something. And then eventually I went on down the road and I started asking questions. I started to go to different sites that have checkouts. And I realized, wow, I can't pay for this service that I want for this item. All it does is it allows me to reserve it, but I have to send them my bank account, send them a screenshot of the payment being done. So that's where the disconnect was. And that's what I'm working to solve.
Okay.
So to go more into the details on how I'm solving this, I first needed to know if the technology was even there.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
And that was the best feeling ever. I remember, I think it was a couple months ago, I was still working on it nonchalant. And I did my research. I started to go to the individual banks in person, waiting in the customer service line and asking them if they have anything like this. The three main banks that I was going at is Belize Bank, Atlantic Bank, Heritage Bank. The three big ones that I know of.
Right.
My first tip was a popular app. I believe it's QuickPass.
Okay.
QuickPass.
Uh-huh.
Yes. They were the first tip that I had because I know they're a Belizean app,
Yeah.
developed in Belize, and so I went into the app and I purchased a ticket for the first time, and I noticed I was able to pay
For it there. Okay.
card. So that had me asking questions like, okay,
very
got
good.
a little bit excited.
Okay.
I found out who was the creator. I messaged him, and he was graceful enough to answer me.
Very good. Okay.
And he was the one that actually gave me insight on the systems that are currently in place.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thankful for him.
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
his name. If he's watching, thank you so much. But after that, the excitement was there. The past year plus of work was not in vain.
Right.
So that's when I ramped up production for the app. So for the past, I would say 6 to 7 months, I've just been putting in hours of work into it to get it to the point where it is right now. I looked at the 3 different banks because at the end of the day, I need something that works for the businesses.
Yeah.
Atlantic Bank one was not a fit. Too much. They're more platform based, so it's one app to their platform. Heritage Bank's payment gateway was too expensive for regular businesses.
Okay.
And so my last resort was Belize Bank. And luckily, their integration was perfect.
Oh, okay.
So their methodology towards it is to target the developers. So they just have a public API that they provide documentation. So I read the documentation, went through it, and began to build it. Not only that, is their system scales. So unlike other banks where there's a standalone fee that you need to pay regardless if you use a service, their one, it scales. If you don't use the service, you don't pay. If you use the service, you pay.
Okay.
And that was the key thing. What it does is it integrates the API for each business. So whenever you have a business or a service, you come to me or the business, we create I'm calling them storefronts.
Right.
You create your storefront, and then it gets created on the platform. You guys, as the customer, you just download one app. Within the app, there's discovery options for you to discover all of the different stores and review it.
Can I describe it as like a virtual mall almost?
Essentially, yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
My idea behind it was a mix between Instagram and Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, because I know like a lot of businesses these days are just doing like Instagram or online, like on social media, and it saves on operation costs because you don't have a storefront. And let's say you want to purchase something like beauty products. There's so many different Instagram pages that sell perfumes or whatever. And so you can, let's say I want to buy a specific perfume. I go on this app and I search. I can find like multiple different places. It's kind of like walking around a mall basically and seeing all these stores.
There's 2 tiers to it. There's the outer tier, which is meant for the customers that want to purchase.
Yeah.
There's discoverability for businesses.
Yeah.
And then there's discoverability for products.
Right.
Within the discoverability for businesses, there's a lot of nuances where you could choose a business specifically, go into there, and then they have their own catalog. So if you go on, let's say, Pink Boutique, you enter their store, they have their own catalog, they have their own store and everything. If you maybe you want food now, come out, search up the place that you want to order it if they're on the platform.
Okay.
Order your food, and that's where the next part of the app comes in.
Okay.
Recently, I realized that for me to truly bridge the gap for e-commerce, delivery was going to be the final thing, right?
Like Uber Eats or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Okay.
I created a lightweight app that facilitates the delivery process. I'm calling it M3 Runner for now.
Okay.
For now, it will only be accessible for services like food and those. But eventually, I want to talk to the local shipping companies, bargain something on how to get distribution out so that we could have delivery available for packages.
Right.
Okay.
Across the country?
Across the country.
Okay.
Very well. So where are we today with this app? Are you to a point where you're saying, I'm here launching it, if there's any business that's tuned in and got curious about it, can they message you and then really start exploring the possibility of being in this marketplace?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
So the stage that I'm in the app is I'm within the final stages, but I'm doing bug fixes right now.
Okay.
I'm targeting launch in April.
Very well.
Targeting launch in
so you
April.
can come back in April too, and then we can
talk about it even
have
more.
a full more platform about it. Good.
For now, I will need at least one of each services for testing, because within app development and deployment, it's never gonna go how you think it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because as much as I test it locally, having it out there on the web,
when people start using
it's a different story. So bugs will come into play, issues. So I don't want to have everyone on the platform one and just release the floodgates, because then I might have more issues than I need.
Okay, so at this moment you're looking for businesses that would like to partner with to go about in the exploration phase of how it may work. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And just bring it to everyone's attention. If you're interested in the service, there are a few requirements.
Let's talk about those.
One of the requirements is you must have a Belize Bank merchant account, because I work specifically with their APIs.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you need to be enrolled in the e-commerce for Belize Bank.
Okay.
Because that's how they give you the API keys that I would receive. And those credentials are what I use to route shipments or the funds directly to your account. So what this allows is, specifically for retailers, everyone, when your store closes at 5, it's not really closed now.
Yeah.
Because you, as the person that wants to buy,
you can purchase anytime.
Yeah. 12 o'clock you wanna buy something at 12 a.m. Order it, pay for it. In the morning, me as the owner, I'm gonna wake up, go into my admin panel. I'm gonna see all of the orders generated with the time and specifically what you ordered and what you want and your delivery method, and I could fulfill your orders.
Wow.
That's so interesting.
Okay.
So,
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so as we begin to wrap up, businesses that want to partner, how do they contact you?
I have Instagram, if you could message me there, and you could get information on it. Right now, I've been posting more specifically on the features. So if you're interested in the features and knowing more about the platform, you could check out the Instagram or Facebook page at M3M3 Development.
M3. So the letter M and the number 3. Letter M, number 3. Very well.
Development. That's the name of the Instagram page.
Yes, and Facebook.
And Facebook. Okay.
Okay.
And my phone number is 625-0795.
Okay, and so people can, any business that has the Belize Bank.
Yeah, or if you want to eventually be on the platform, you could inquire and go into Belize Bank and sign up, right? I would not say to jump the gun and jump into the e-commerce yet, because it's going to be a slow rollout, but it is something to keep in mind, because the process does take a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, Shamar, we thank you so much for joining us on the couch. For one, to celebrate that you're, on another milestone of the development of this app. You're like here doing this soft launch for people to come and connect, to go about exploring how it's going to work. Definitely look forward to a future conversation with you when you've done all this back-end work to ensure it's fully functional for people now to start accessing and having this e-commerce platform more accessible and more interactive and I guess user-friendly and all of these things. So April, we're crossing our fingers for that, but definitely the invitation is open. As we wrap up, do you have any last words to share with our viewers? Any potential client that you may have?
Not much, but it is very exciting and a little bit intimidating to get into this, because it's going to be a lot. Feedback is always something that I'm looking for, especially for all the businesses interested in this service, because the biggest thing for me is I'm getting feedback that people like it, but there's always doubt. There's always doubt that it might not catch as well as I think. But if anyone is interested, feel free to reach out to me. We could discuss. If you want to see it, I could submit videos, anything. Follow the Instagram is the most important thing because I always post updates on there.
Okay.
And they're detailed.
Yeah, for the ones watching via Facebook Live, I put the name of the Instagram and user handle on the Facebook comments, so you can check it out, M3 Development. Find them on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, you can get in contact with Shamar to go about exploring the possibility of having this this e-commerce platform going very well.
Definitely fills in a gap, I think, that we need here. So thank you so much for coming on our couch and for, choosing us to be the place for you.
Breaking news.
Yes.
Yeah,
so we're looking forward to great things from this app. So guys, we're going to go on a short commercial break and we have more for you when you return.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Sheree Kelsel, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Adore Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
All right. On the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. It look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard, yes?
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter. They call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV from a BL ad, you know.
Yes, man. They don't reach the man better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
The Public Utilities Commission advises the public that it has conducted a comprehensive review of market conditions in the telecommunications sector, and as part of this process, has prepared an initial determination outlining the preliminary findings on whether any licensee may hold a position of market dominance in accordance with Section 42 of the Belize Telecommunications Act. This assessment is evidence-based and forward-looking and is intended to safeguard consumers and other users of telecommunications services by identifying where competitive limitations may be scarce to prevent risks such as excessive pricing, reduced service quality, limited choices, and unfair treatment. In conducting this assessment, the PUC reviewed regional and international regulatory approaches to guide localized assessment under Belize's legislative framework. The initial determination identifies the relevant telecommunication markets as follows. Retail markets include services supplied directly to end users, including fixed, mobile, and bundled offerings. Wholesale markets include services and facilities supplied on a non-retail basis provided to other licensees or users under conditions different from standard retail offerings. Additionally, this determination is structured to support informed public engagement and includes 11 consultation questions to obtain stakeholder feedback. The document on public consultation, Initial Determination on Market Dominance, can be viewed in its entirety at www.puc.bz. The PUC invites written comments from all interested parties, including licensees, consumers, consumer representatives, and the general public. Comments should be submitted to info@puc.bz by 4 p.m. on March 2nd, 2026, and include in the subject line, comments, initial determination on market.
So our club, we've been, sifting throughout the community. And while we have ongoing projects like the rebuild of the bathrooms at St. Joseph Primary School, playground bills, we went into the Inspiration Center because one of the main focus of them is providing physical, speech, and occupational therapy to children in the country that need it. There's not many facilities that offer that around the clock. And there is a great need from the Inspiration Center to continue to serve those children.
Very well.
And we took a visit at the Inspiration Center and did a walkthrough of the center. And there's a great need for quite a number of things. They have helped so many children, and they do not have right now. And I think all of these things are somewhat a result of COVID. Coming out of COVID, you know, everybody had to cut costs, downsize. But right now, there is not an in-house doctor at the Inspiration Center. They don't have equipment such as an audiometer to check if a child has a hearing impairment.
Wow.
And if my statistics are correct, there is not an audiometer in our country. So quite recently, myself and our service projects director, we went to a project fair in Antigua, Guatemala to with different projects that we would like to see come through for Belize City. And one of those projects was to ask other Rotary clubs that were present to assist in helping to either write a grant or to fundraise or to sponsor so that our country can get one of those machines, so that our children don't have to travel and have their families have all that expense to either go to Merida or to go to the US or Guatemala to get testing for an official diagnosis.
Very well. So the Sunrise on Cork supports that fruition.
Right, that is the plan. That's where we want to go to see what needs can be met for the Inspiration
Well,
Center.
thank you for sharing how the funds that are collected from this event, where they're going to go through, and especially like what they will be able to support. I think that's a great way of starting the conversation. When I introduced it, I shared that we're going to be stamping your passport to be able to have an experience of 4 different countries.
Yes.
Give us like, how does that work?
So the Sunrise on Cork, I mean, we hear constantly wine and cheese events everywhere. I think that's something that even in our homes we
have our own wine and
we have our own wine and cheese, right? I think this weekend there were several. But this event we wanted to make it a little bit more exciting, and so we came up with the idea of having a passport. So a ticket is $125, but with that you get at the entrance a Sunrise on Cork passport where you're able to visit the different booths that, well, we want to create that ambience where, and I mentioned earlier that this event is in collaboration with the Wine House. And so there's going to be wines from 4 countries featured at the event, hence the passport. There's wines from France, Argentina, Chile, and Spain. And so with this passport, when you enter the ambience to experience the French wines, you know, you can get your pour there, and then you get stamped. You can also write commentaries in your passport if you like that wine, if it's something that maybe you want to buy a bottle to take home, or you want to come back and get a second. With that ticket, you get 5 glasses of wines, and there are 4 countries. So obviously your 5th round, you have the opportunity to go back to the best wine that you've had for the night. And this is also paired with the charcuterie boards and the different cheeses that accompany a good wine tasting experience. And in addition to that, there is also the silent auction that we will be having at the event. I'm quite excited about the silent auction because many times we go to events and there's a lot, but I think Sunrise has been doing a very good job in getting a lot of prizes for that silent auction. So I want to encourage folks to take a look at that. Again, it is through those means that the fundraiser is going to be successful in order to help the Inspiration Center.
Very well. Can you, Courtney, go ahead.
Right, I was just going to ask, you said this is your first wine, fully wine event. So, and then you mentioned the popularity of wines and cheeses, but what were some of the previous events that you had in terms of like fundraising for? I know because I've done several events with like playgrounds, the playgrounds in different schools and whatnot. What were some of the past events that maybe people who they went to the event and not knowing like, oh, this was a Belize Rotary of Sunrise event?
Our most recent one like this where a lot of the public was congregated together was the Diwali Ball that I think we had last year, for that season. And then other than that, quite recently, we have our raffle. We did the $50,000 raffle, and we've had, I think, 2 barbecues recently that were really big fundraisers. I mean, barbecue, if done and executed well, makes a lot of money if you get a lot of donation. And so those fundraisers went directly into redoing the roof at the St. Joseph bathroom.
Okay.
Right? At current moment, that's still an ongoing project to fix the interior and electrical work within that. And we also have a grant in the process for the construction of a new bathroom to better and adequately supply the population of the school.
Okay, and did you say the location for this?
It will be at the Biltmore.
At the Biltmore, the date.
February 28th. Tickets are $125. There is not a lot of tickets left.
Okay, that's really good to know. Yeah.
So I want to encourage folks, if they're interested, they can contact us via Facebook at Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise, or they can call my number, 670-4997, or the numbers that are available on our social media sites.
670-9997.
670-4997.
4997.
Okay, and so that's how they can purchase the tickets. And you recommend purchasing before you get there?
Absolutely. I don't think we might have tickets the night of the event.
Okay. Do you find that this is often the case where, you know, the tickets sell out pretty fast for your events?
I would say so, yes. I think all the Rotary clubs, I mean,
they're very well supported.
We try to bring attractive things that are that you know that the general public are interested in, but at the same time, I think the cause of what they are supporting is what really wins the hearts of many.
Right.
Okay, so Belize and support Rotary.
Yes.
Yeah, so 28th of February, you get to experience 5 glasses of wine from 4 different countries. You support the Inspiration Center by coming and supporting this event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The silent auction.
Yeah.
And in addition to the 5 wines, there will be bottles, of course, for sale. I don't think anybody that goes to a wine tasting experience leaves empty-handed, right? We always fall in love with a select bottle, and we want to take it home, share with our friends or family.
Yeah.
And so we want to encourage the folks to come out and ask their questions. And if they would like to, outside of the event, give and help the Inspiration Center, you know, we're more than willing to facilitate that process. And if, you know, one of the main inflow of funds from the Inspiration Center when we ask is, how do you keep the lights on? How do you keep the service going? And they rely heavily on the public.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, our members recently, outside of club funds, our members recently and personally donated to assist some kids that could not afford a session, which is about $15, $10 a session, and $5 transportation. Sometimes even that is very difficult for families to afford.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
the reality.
the Inspiration Center has for some time relied heavily on the public support, on corporate support, and quite recently got some assistance from the Prime Minister as well, seeing that the need is essential for kids. And so this is an opportunity that if you have a business or if you're working within an organization and you'd like to help and do something, this is definitely an outlet where you can make a child's life extremely better.
Very good. So we have like 2 questions before we wrap up. One is, what time does the event start?
Oh, yes.
And the next thing, people are very curious about what are going to be some of the items that are going to be auctioned.
So the event starts at 7, and the silent auction, I think, is the biggest we've had in our club. We have many resort stays, 2 nights. Some, very few are 1 nights, but most of them are 2 nights. We have transportation costs accompanied with that to alleviate that expense. They're coupled with dine-in experiences. We have spa certificates. We also have, I mean, I'm not the tools lady, but we also have for the men who, you know, are very much inclined to getting a tool for their home. So we have a lot of that going as well. We have up to dog food, you know, sacks of dog food, people who love their pets. So they're different things.
I love it. All right.
Their phones, their getaways. I think there's a few airline traffic tickets in there too as well. So it's a lot. And a lot of them are bundled as well.
Okay, okay.
For a greater experience.
So there's definitely something for somebody out there, you know, for everyone. All right.
Awesome.
So Ms. Adelaide, thank you so much for joining us on the couch to extend the invitation for our viewers to join Sunrise on Court on the 28th of February at the Biltmore.
At
It's
7
p.m. Tickets are $125. We encourage you to get your tickets beforehand and get to experience wines from 4 different countries and have
And then
a great
carry home a
time.
bottle.
Carry home a bottle.
And maybe some plane tickets.
Yes. And support a great cause.
Right.
Definitely. Any last words to wrap up, Ms. Sabito?
Absolutely. To everybody, I hope everybody had a great Valentine this weekend. And it's we're still in the month of love.
Right.
And so we want to extend from the Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise, not belated because we're still there, a great Valentine, happy February. And we look forward to seeing new faces and some of our friends there at the event.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on our couch, and we're hoping anybody who can, again, like Ms. Savita said, if you can donate outside of the event itself, you can reach out and you can figure that out. So once again, we'll be taking another commercial break and we'll be back with more.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Amid public discussion about the proposed consolidation of BTL and SpeedNet, some people are calling for financials of both companies and information on license fee payments.
We did ask the PUC for the official figures for SpeedNet's annual license fee payment.
But even Annual Barrow says it does not quite work like that.
The Public Utilities Commission has a role to play, and they will have access to both companies' financials, and they will use those financials to help evaluate the deal and the consequences of the deal. But they are not going to release that to the public. It just doesn't work like that. The call for we want to see financials, I'm not sure how you place that.
There is provision in the law. The actual legislation says that there's a duty for them to provide that. And so this to the public. Yes, yes.
We checked, and the fact is there is no law that mandates public disclosure of such financials. Let's educate and consult, but stop misleading the public.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherie Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Buenos dias, my beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome back to your Monday episode. Thank you so much for welcoming Courtney into your space. We're having a great time on this Monday episode. Move on to our next conversation. It's very exciting because we're going to be talking about the annual report that was created by Sea of Life, a Trash Blitz report. Today, we're going to find out more details about the report. How did their cleanup campaign went also, and of course, what kind of impact does this have for the community? Joining us on our couch to give us more details, we have Director of Sea of Life, Paulita Bennett-Marin, joining us. Paulita, good morning.
Good morning.
How is your energy today?
It's
1 to 10.
awesome, like 50.
You're always awesome. Like how much?
50 out of 10.
50. All right.
Hopefully
We should
I
like.
don't have a heart attack, but I'm having fun so far.
I love it. Joining us also, we have Darcy Ukles joining us. Darcy, how are you doing, darling? We wish you were on the couch today.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah. Where are you tuned in from?
Maya Beach at this moment.
Ooh, shout out to Maya Beach and everybody tuned in to Sunup on 7 from that area. Shout out to your family. And we're very excited about this conversation because we're going to be talking about the Trash Blitz report. This is the second report that you're producing.
Yes.
All right? So before we get into the report, let's talk about how did your last cleanup campaign at the Port Loyola went?
It went really well. I would say we had probably 75 people there.
Okay.
So it was a big showing, and it was our first time, so excited about this. It was our first time having a zero plastic footprint. So nobody showed up with the little water pouches. Nobody showed up with, bags of stuff in plastic to give out. And so we really encourage that when we do a cleanup, folks don't bring shilling water. They don't bring little plastic foods and stuff because we're trying to clean up and then we just add to the mess.
For sure.
And what we did was we actually hired a young man who usually sells tamales or different foods, and he had a bicycle cart available for the day. And so we created a hydration station and that just had water with the pumps, and he went around and made sure everybody could refill their bottles. Great way to employ someone for the day, but also to make sure that we're not using plastic when we're trying to clean up the community.
That makes a lot of sense. For one, it's the fact that it's doable, right? And it requires a level of intention, but it can be done.
Absolutely.
That's the great takeaway for me from hearing how you manage. And the next thing is you're saying we're cleaning up the garbage, so it makes no sense going and adding more, right? It's counterproductive for sure.
Yeah. And when was this cleanup held?
Oh gosh, I think it was
like 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Okay. I need to lock in so I could be there for the next one.
Yes, April 25th.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'll keep an eye out because I get so frustrated when seeing people who buy little bottles of water and every time they're drinking water, it's from just buy a water bottle. Just there's so many things we can do to limit our usage of plastic.
Yeah, agree.
Right. So talk to us about the last year's report and what that looked like and how the significant changes we saw between last year and this year.
Well, a lot of the trends remain the same. So last year we saw mostly plastic as the material. This year, same thing, plastic is the main material. It went up by 1% actually this year in our findings. Similar things with the types of items like bottles, food wrappers, bags, all those takeaway things are what we're finding in the data. Similar brands, all our most popular brands are the ones that come up the most. So it's similar, but the one good thing is because we're engaging with the community so much and teaching citizen science, we're finding that folks are able to actually name what types of materials they're looking at with respect to plastics. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these numbers to plastic, right?
Why is it important for people to know like these differences in plastics?
I think that it helps them to really understand that there are different chemical makeups of the different plastics, and then we start to become more technically aware. Maybe we're not going to know everything about plastics, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. So some of these have phthalates in them. Some of them have BPA in them, right? Some of them are made up of, PFAS, et cetera. And so when people start to recognize that, they become more aware of the technical and the I guess, chemical side of the material. Because we see plastics as just something we have everywhere, all the time. It's in our hands for everything that we do almost. And I think that we have sort of been separated from the reality of what plastics are because they're convenient, but little by little, folks learn more technically. Then all of a sudden your mind opens up a bit more about like, wait a minute, do I really want to heat my food up in this? Do I really want to be drinking my hot drinks in this? Do I really want to rip off the corner of something and glug it down, right? You start to question those things. And so I thought that was a really, and we're doing community science, right? So if people year one don't know what a material is, and year two they still don't know what it is, then we're not educating well, right? So that was a good sign for the interest and the information being picked up by people.
Right.
Thank you. Darcy, let's bring you into this conversation and let's talk about, like, we're talking about the report itself. I'm very curious also, because you were like hands-on in this cleanup campaign. What were the reactions of like the persons when they were like picking up this garbage and realizing like what's there? And what kind of like people do you see coming to like these events? Was it like more young people? Was it a mix of different generations? What was it like? So the reaction of persons would be like, man, this dia kind of thing. And yes, girl, stretch. Tell us.
Okay, so where do I start?
Yeah, start by the
Honestly
reaction.
speaking, if you can't hear me, just let me know, right?
We can.
So in terms of your question, while we're doing, because I am one of my responsibilities as CEO of Life is leading the trash bin audits, and in 2025 we did 17 site locations. Just comparing these 17 sites within, because these 17 sites were also done in different districts, and then just comparing the different brands that were picked up and sorted, it's very alarming because some of these brands I have never seen, and I live in CMBite specifically, but so like looking at the different brands that are coming in, I'm like, people are actually consuming this. People are actually just randomly throwing these items here. So we do get a lot of like water pouches, which is also very concerning because like as we use it once, we throw it in the sea, right? And for me personally, whenever we're doing it and we're working with schools, I find it to be very important to get the young people involved, and we are and have been working a lot with young people, like a lot. So for them to see the amount of waste that's being collected, the amount of things that we're using that just end up in landfills and just end up in the water, it's also opportunity for us to educate them about the real effects of plastic pollution, not just in marine life, but like I always mention this, it's a one health situation. It affects animals, it affects the environment, and it also affects our health as humans, right?
Definitely.
So one simple good action determines a lot. One shilling water that you dash away on the seaside, it's not just one. For animals and for everything that has to do with health, those plastic, they never disappear. They turn into microplastics, so they end up in fish, and we eat fish. We work a lot with coastal communities.
Yeah.
So every time we're working with these coastal communities, to let them know, like, we basically eat microplastic. Their bags there, no one disappear at all. So, like, every action has its own consequences.
Definitely.
And in terms of like who are the people participating, like I mentioned, it's a lot of young people. And I'm very happy that we have a lot of young people. And for the Pride campaign, we also get a lot of schools like St. Catherine's. We have the youth, the Belize movements. We have different organizations that consist of young people. So whenever we're organizing this Pride event, I would be like sharing it also with my union groups that I'm part of. Like, hey, we have this Pride campaign coming up. We have this Trash Blitz campaign coming up. Please feel free to join. We're not charging. It's our country at the end of the day. So, you know.
Yeah, thank you so much, Darcy, for sharing and for talking about the importance of the education that takes part in conjunction with these cleanup campaigns, educating people about, as you mentioned, what the plastics are, what the components are, how like the health effects that they may have, and the impact that it has on human health, period, right? Because whatever happens in the environment affects us too. One of the questions or one of the comments that's raised by one of our viewers, Paulita, is that they really are connecting with the education aspect and community coming together. But it's saying how does your report contribute to the enforcement of regulations as regards to the control of single-use plastics?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, first I want to say that I think the Department of Environment has done a clear job on naming the way that we should be phasing plastics out. And that, we work to support them and help them to try to implement these laws that are on the books, right? But I think that there's a little bit lost in translation between the law and then what happens on the ground. And so with the report, we're able to educate, we're able to talk to people about what they're using in their own businesses, what other alternatives and options that there are. What we would like to do is find more ways that we can support DOE in implementing the laws, because we should be phasing out certain items, right? We still see the bags all across the country. We still see polystyrene, or what people like to refer to as styrofoam. We still see all of those things. We still see classic plastic utensils, forks, knives, spoons, etc. And those things, a lot of those things are included in the law, right? So our report is a great way to be able to discuss these issues with data, not just with I see this,
right,
or I feel this, but no, this is what I don't even know how many people we aren't certain, but we think around 600 people over 2025 helped collect the data.
Wow!
So this isn't just one person. I saw this or I feel this. This is us sitting down and doing systematic data collection. And it takes a while, and it is, it's kind of like, wow, here I am standing in waste and sorting it, but that's what you have to do to collect clean data. And so I think that it's very helpful to implementing laws and also identifying the problems. If we see that bags continue to be in the top 5 items, then maybe that's where we begin to phase out something, right?
Yeah.
Bags. We know that what the alternative, it's using your own bag or a basket or whatever, and you can now get those bags free so many at events. I mean, all kinds of orgs hand them out. It's not a matter that we're trying to approach this without equity and without being cognizant of people's financial situations. But there's also an extent to where that's an excuse that businesses lean on to not do the right thing. And so we know that we can reuse bags. You could even make a reusable bag from a t-shirt if you wanted. And then you use that bag maybe hundreds of times. That's hundreds of bags that you yourself have prevented. And businesses can also offer refillable and reusable options in their own products.
Sure. Yeah, I know we see stores like in other countries that they offer like $1 for like a bag, and if you don't buy that bag and if you don't bring your own bag, well then you just have to hold the stuff in your hand, and I think that's the level that we need to get to. People need to be made uncomfortable because that's the only way they'll change and be like, okay, next time I have to carry my bag or I have to buy this bag and reuse it. People need to be uncomfortable. In terms of the water pouches especially, I know that there are certain kinds of single-use plastics that we're supposed to be phasing out. I don't know if the material or the type of plastic that the water pouches are included in that, and if so, how do we, because we know that there are limited water companies, but we know Bowen is the biggest one, and they also produce the soft drinks, and the bottles, we see soft drink bottles all over the place. So how do we go about changing a corporation and the way they do things, and how do we get them involved? And that's the question, because I think Bowen likes to say we're part of the community and we do these things. I know, like, they go plant mangroves and they do this and they do that, but then in turn you're also being counterproductive by not making a change in the way you produce your items. So are the pouches supposed to be phased out, and then how do you get a company like that involved?
Baby beef with the fire. I love it. Okay.
Okay, so the pouches, I'm not certain whether they're covered in the law, and that would be a great conversation to have. They definitely are not biodegradable or compostable, so we know that. And I think that, so one thing I want to say is that Bowen has done an incredible job with the glass bottle return system. That is like a classic example of how reuse and return and refill works, right? But then we start moving into plastics and wanting to go that direction. And then the pouches is just senseless. It is senseless, and it's something that we can move in a direction of refillable. We have refillable infrastructure for water. Who doesn't have a 5-gallon in their home? Institutions and schools, this is one of our 3 recommendations, can get refillable systems set up in their schools, and they can do it with an economic win too. So when we worked with Wesley College, for instance, they got a refillable water system, and then they charge $20 a year to the parents so that they can have unlimited, fresh, clean, cold water. Okay? So the school then gets money to maintain their systems, but maybe do other things on the campus. But the parents save money, because if you're not spending $1 or $2 a day, 180 days of the year, then you're spending 20 instead. So, you know, that's a major win. And then I just want to say that, yes, the shilling water, this is another argument you may hear. It does provide a low-cost access to water. But if we're worried about targeting customers that have so little money that all they have is a shilling for water, then we're not doing something right in the society. If somebody needs water, we need water sovereignty. We need water for all, right? And so a bottle, I understand, and it is going to be hard to figure out what the solution is for bottles over time on the mass market. But when we talk about shilling pouches, I feel that it's a really bad invention, and that's why a lot of other countries in the Caribbean do not have these. Why do we deserve less? This is the most beautiful country in the world. We should be protecting it from things like that. I went to the Bahamas and worked with fishermen there, went in the water with them, and they asked me what these pouches were that are showing up on their ocean, on the floor of their ocean, because they don't have them in the Bahamas. And so I had to explain what they were to them, and I was like, wow. So there are countries that would not let this in.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, and then even with children particularly, how do you, because a lot of times, oh gosh, this so frustrates me so. I hate littering. So from when I was a child, I hated littering. And I see like kids with their parents, and then they have like a bottle and they finish the bottle and the parent are like, oh, destroy that. And I think the idea is that the street cleaners will pass and clean it, but you don't know when they will come. Like that thing could end up anywhere between.
And people would say, they comment, oh, if I don't do that, then they don't have a job.
Gosh. Frustrates me so much.
Crazy, isn't that crazy?
Yes,
and then wild. Kids grow up like that, and they grow into adults who teach their children that. So, and I am like, I know we go into schools and we try to like educate them, but how do you change that mindset that you literally grow up with? You see your parent who is like your God, like you have to follow everything your parents said, like, and they do this thing, and then you do it too. How do you change that mindset?
That's hard. That's a big question, and that we're working. We don't know if we have the answer, but we're working very hard to communicate with anyone and come and meet them where they're at. So, like when we do the Trash Blitz Pride campaign in Belize City, we don't just clean up and then look at the data. We actually go door to door with information about plastic pollution, and we try to help educate on the public health concerns of plastics, and really try to encourage pride. And maybe in a way, folks feel like you're saying like, oh, if I don't throw it on the ground, no one will have a job, or maybe someone else will take care of that for me. But if we start to kind of empower one another to feel like, no, it's me that can take care of this, and it's me that can create change, and it's me that wants a clean yard and a clean street and a clean sea.
For sure. So as we start wrapping up this conversation, any final words, both you and Darcy?
Darcy, what are your final words for today?
Education starts from home.
Very well. Okay, do you want to expand on that?
No. Honestly, like when you travel or go to other countries, or when we have Belizeans going to other countries, you are get sued for naturally plastic on the ground. You know, so we need to get we got laws that get implemented, but they're not being like laws that get make and things they put on constitution, but people are not taking it serious because of other reasonings.
They could get away with it.
Education is key, like what Paulita mentioned, and that's what we're doing through our prayer campaigns and our program. So all I have to say is if you're gonna buy a shilling water today, trust me, if you calculate how much you buy per day, you will save way a lot of money. It's not cheaper to buy shilling water, right? So there's ours more sustainable approaches instead of using plastic. That's my word of advice for the day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You touch the pocket of people, which is a great way to go and change the mindset.
Yeah.
Paulita.
Simple. I just, you don't have to have a fancy Yeti, but you could just carry a bottle of any kind. You can even get like cheap ones at the thrift store for $1 or $2. And save, like Darcy said, save your money. When I'm at a restaurant, I say, could you just fill me up with your, I know you have a 5-gallon back there. Just fill me, I know that sounds really chancy of me, but hey. And then second, I just wanted to point out something too. Think about like our history and our culture and our heritage. Belize has always been very creative and entrepreneurial and also known how to work with natural materials. This is Kiss Kiss. We're gonna try to start using these for cleanups instead of purchasing metal and plastic grabbers. And also it's something that like is so unique to Belize. And I feel like this is, it's almost symbolic of why it's so important to protect Belize and our nature and our heritage. The nature is the heritage. It's part of the heritage. And so, Kevin, I got a little one of these for you for cooking. 'Cause I know you love cooking. But just thinking creatively, we've existed for years. I wish I had a shook. Is that what they're called? They're like a calabash, right?
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those because like we've always known how to. We were zero waste before zero waste was trending.
That is true. That is
true. So let's try again.
Yeah, because we do have viewers in our Facebook Live saying that they remember when they used to take their containers to buy oil, to buy eggs, to buy flour, and then plastics came.
And think about it. It was all clean. You got it all clean and without microplastics in it.
I was part of that generation too, like going to the shop to like, fill your Clorox, fill your oil, fill your kerosene, and in this lifetime it's happened. We can change it, Paulita. We can change it.
Little by little.
Yes.
And Kevin, I'm hoping you make some barbecue for us.
Definitely. I think it's going to be a really cool experience doing that for sure. Paulita, where can people find your report?
seaoflife.org/trashblitz.
Okay.
Or just go to the website and you can find it.
seaoflife.org. And your next cleanup campaign is in April.
April 25th.
Where will it be?
We haven't decided yet, but we're thinking somewhere around like Bayman Avenue and that side of town.
Okay, that's my area.
Okay.
Very good, very good. Paulita, Darcy, we thank you so much for joining us. Happy Monday. We wish you a great week ahead. Continue enjoying the love in the air because it's still February.
Yes.
We hope you had a great Valentine.
Yeah.
And it's also time for us to wrap up. So we want to thank our guests that showed up today. We had the Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise promoting their event on the 28th of February. Sunrise on Cork, you get to support the Inspiration Center by purchasing a ticket and get to experience wines from 4 different countries. And also M3 Development talking about making e-commerce accessible for small businesses. So if you're interested in seeing how this partnership works for you to be able to access an online market space, you can go to Facebook and Instagram and look out for M3 Development. And of course, we want to thank our friends from Sea of Life for joining us today on Sunup on 7 to talk about their Trash Blitz report. You can find them on seaoflife.org, and you can also look up for their next date for you to volunteer and be part of the cleanup campaign. Courtney, your last words today?
I think we had a great show, great Monday, and I'll be back here tomorrow with you guys. My last show before I leave for a
her
week.
vacations.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're gonna make her do samba because see how well she's been training to go to Brazil. Yeah. Bye, folks. We love you. Have a great start of the week. Thank you so much for your company. Bye-bye.
concerns we share.